Okay, welcome back from your long reprieve. I hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving. It was good?
It's good. How was yours?
Not so great. My daughter got the flu.
Oh.
Yeah. And I mean the authentic flu. We went to the doctor and they said she has the flu.
That's
And then I tried to explain to my wife, because I said we were going to go to Florida for Thanksgiving, so I explained to her, hey, look, we should still go. She's like, but then we're going to transfer all the flu. And I told her, sharing is caring, right? Everything's going to be fine. But that didn't work with her for some reason. I didn't quite figure that out. So,
Build other people's immune system.
Exactly.
It's Thanksgiving, you're giving.
Right, we're giving and we're being thankful for the improved immune system we're going to have afterwards, right?
Exactly.
I don't understand these people. I don't. Hypochondriacs, right? So back to our final exam. It's currently scheduled for December 4th. Let's see, 0800 to 1000, yeah, 8 to 10. I will be here at that time. I will come in and you can take it here, which I recommend you at least do the Blackboard here. You don't have to though. Since this is an online section, I will open up the exam on November 29th. That should be today. Shortly after this class, I will open up the Blackboard section, and then later on today I'll send out the invites for Hacker Rank. I've already written the exam, so y'all can get started on that. You'll have till end of day December 5th. So the 5th, that's the Tuesday after when your final exams technically due, so y'all have an extra day since it's online. And remember, this is going to be like the midterm where you have two sections, the Blackboard version and the Hacker Rank version. Let's see, the Hacker Rank will be timed, allow you to log back in. Blackboard, of course, is less than nice, so you need to make sure you don't lose connection. If you're here and you lose the connection, I will gladly open it up for you again. Again, big warning, when you take the exam online, make sure you save your work to a separate document. If Blackboard fails, email me your document ASAP. When you email me, I will have a timestamp from our CSU server saying when the email was received. I can then compare that timestamp to when you opened it up on Blackboard and confirm that you were within the time window. So please, please, please email me if you have any problems before time runs out. If you choose to take it online, don't ask me to reopen it. I will not. I'm giving you the opportunity to come here December 4th at the time that CSU has deemed that we are supposed to take this exam. So if you come here during that time, Blackboard fails, I will gladly open it up for you. If you're not here and then you say there were problems, I am not going to be helpful. Everyone got that? Okay, good. Naturally, okay. We're going to consist of programming problems. Obviously, Hacker Rank is going to be programming problems. Y'all should be used to that by now. You must solve and stepping through iterations of algorithms showing each stage is correct. Let's see. We're also going to talk about Big O. We need to put that up there as well. Big O will also be a significant topic during your final. Since HackerRank has an auto-completion and testing section, please utilize those features to ensure your code's correct. If your code does not compile, I will look at it, but your grade will severely suffer. So please make sure it compiles. With your labs, if you didn't compile, you got a 0. I'm only going to be slightly more benevolent on your exam. All right, data structures. It's going to cover all your data structures: arrays, linked lists, vector, stack, queue, trees. That's binary search trees. Heaps. So make sure you study heaps, priority queues, and then B trees as well. You'll have hash tables on there with the chaining and linear probing. Make sure you understand those two. I put the word heaps there a second time because students seem to have a tendency to not study heaps. So again, make sure you study heaps. Graphs. Went through graphs at the end, but they are very important. So make sure you understand JC list, matrix, and then Dijkstra's and Prem's algorithms. At least understand how they work. I am not going to ask you to code up a graph algorithm, but I will ask you to step through a certain graphing algorithm. We studied 2 of them, and we also studied depth first search and breadth first search. So be ready to step through those on a final exam. And here's your big hint. 20 points of your final exam is going to just be graph theory. All right, algorithms. We got the different sorts: bubble, insertion, selection, quick, merge, and heap sort. We didn't do shell sort, did we? No, okay, good. You won't have shell sort on the exam. Whew, I didn't write it. Searching, linear, binary, of course, depth first and breadth first, which apply to graphs. Yeah. Traversing, remember you had pre-order, in-order, and post-order for your different binary trees. Graphs, a couple of things you want to keep in mind. It is simple, aka no loops, cycles, or circuits. Is strongly connected. All vertices are connected. Just make sure you understand those two ideas. Make sure you know how to delete and insert each of those data structures up there, and then a copy constructor for each as well. All right, we're good so far? Hopefully you see that there's already a lot we're going over. This is comprehensive. Although there's, I think there's, how many questions are there? I believe there's 8 questions, but there are multiple, each one of them has multiple parts, so. All right, make sure you can compare and contrast with space complexity and runtime complexity and big O notation. Make sure you are ready to do that. Know what each data structure does and how it does it, obviously. Recursive and iterative solutions to the above algorithms will be helpful when going through this exam. Here's a couple more terms you may want to understand. Yeah, you're going to want to know directed and undirected, simple, connected, strongly connected. At least have an idea of what minimum spanning tree means. Function pointers. So we went over that. You got dynamic stack versus static memory. Remember those 3 different types of memory. Towards the end of the semester, I stopped reinforcing what those 3 meant. Hopefully y'all understand it by now. Anyone weak on that? No. Templates. Hopefully you've had a lot of experience with templates. Mm-hmm. Is it a love-hate or just hate?
It's a love-hate.
Well, I mean, STL, you could, a vector of anything. Now that you have templates, it can be a vector of whatever you want. So there's some. You got to give it at least some love, right?
Yeah, I'll give it a little bit.
A little bit of love, all right. Morning. And then operator overloading as well. The questions are going to be very similar to your midterm. You should expect the format to be exactly like your midterm, only, of course, the questions are going to be different. I didn't write this up here, but do you remember on your midterm where I gave you a list of numbers and I told you to do quick sort or merge sort? You will see that exact question again on this final. The numbers will be different. Please, just do this one. It's a give me, or it should be. Or maybe anyways. Example, I did this for your midterm, but just in case you didn't see it, I give you a different definition of a double list, and then I ask you to implement printing the reverse, and here's print reverse. Make sure you add that function to this class. Now this is a double list, so we have each node points to the next and the previous. So make sure you can print in reverse, implement an insert end, and implement insert ordered, which inserts valid and sorted increasing position. So these are just examples of what you may have to do on the hacker link section, at least.
Okay. I was going to say, would that be the Blackboard?
Now the Blackboard ones are going to be something like, the quick sort I just told you, or hey, here's a graph. If you start at 0, what would depth first search produce? Something like that. Okay. And that's it for the midterm study guide. Let me make sure I commit this. Whoops. Let's see, where are we? This must be quite the push. All right. Any questions about the study guide? Anything you would like to go over briefly? I think the one thing I've noticed about this class we're weak on is big O. So I would recommend we go over big O notation real fast. and then that would probably be sufficient for a study guide. The rest of it, for those of you paying attention, I think have good grasp on. If not, just watch the videos again. But I think going over Big O at least one more time will be helpful. You're going to see Big O again when you take algorithms. You'll see it a lot. And it'll probably make a lot more sense in algorithms because by that time you will have taken discrete mathematics. And it'll make a lot more sense. A permanent marker. Oh, look, Skype.
Well,
All right, now for my incredibly professional video camera. Hey, look at my nice shadow. All right, so this is so hard to do. There we
You said
go.
you would get it, but
What's that?
he said he was getting boxes.
Yeah, I'm good at boxes. Yeah, it's a box, but it has like a little handle, you know, at the bottom, so you can pick it up really easily.
Look at that. It's so useful.
Yeah,
innovation.
yeah, it's a useful box. Okay. All right. So what data structures do we have?
Arrays.
Array.
Why'd you say it like that? Arrays.
Arrays. Oh, okay. You have arrays, and we had two different type of arrays.
Ordered and unordered.
Yeah, we'll go ordered and array unordered. All right. What else do we have?
Linked lists.
What two versions do we have?
Linked list and
Oh yeah, we had doubly and singly, but we also had ordered and unordered.
So there's full. So there's full.
We're gonna just call it a linked list, and you can figure out doubly linked list yourself. I'm perfectly okay with that. All right, what else do we have? We're gonna run out of space.
Heaps.
Which one?
Heaps.
Heaps. All right.
Set.
Set was an abstract data type, which is a data structure that you need to know. But for Big O, it would use a set would use something else that we of an actual or a basic
Oh, okay.
data. Yeah, that was an abstract. What realized data structures? That might be a better term.
Queues.
Queues usually use a linked list or an array.
Oh, okay. Binary tree.
Binary tree. We're going to call it a binary search tree. And there's two different types of binary search trees.
Ordered. Or
I know they're all ordered.
they're balanced.
Balanced, there we go.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Unbalanced and binary search tree balanced. Oh, we're gonna, all right, and we're gonna have to cheat over here. Wow, that's the worst line I've ever drawn.
The worst.
Yeah, that was the worst. All right, and what's the last one?
Graphs.
No.
Not graphs.
What was the one that was so hard I didn't ask y'all to actually
Oh,
implement?
B-tree.
B-tree. All right.
Oh.
And we'll do graphs in a moment, because, yeah. Okay. Wow, that was a lot.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to first talk about append. I'm just going to say append. Maybe to the, we'll say to the end, if possible. Actually, I'm just going to call it append, because this is a little tricky. Because if you're appending to an ordered array, you can't really append to it. You're actually inserting, right? So if you're, this is really NA. I'm going to just call this NA for now. If it's unordered and you're appending to the end, what's the big O?
In.
O of N in the best case or worst case?
Best case.
Best. Okay, hold on. Let's step back. what would be the best case scenario for appending to an unordered array?
Oh,
O of 1.
Yeah.
Why is that?
because you can just add it.
Okay. So best is O of 1, and worst is, why is it worst O of n?
Because you might have to resize it.
You might have to resize it and recopy everything over. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, ordered. Linked list, I'm going to just say NA for now. Unordered?
Oh, no, oh, one.
Yeah, you're appending to the end of it, so it's always O of 1. Assuming you have your tail pointer, which is a safe assumption. All right, a heap, you don't really append. Binary search tree, again, you don't really append. And yeah, we're just going to do NA for all of these.
Nice.
And that's just to at least give you an idea of why we use unordered arrays and unordered linked lists, is because appending to them is actually not that bad. Now, we'll talk about the next one, which is insert. We want to insert something at a certain location. Best to assume it's somewhere in the middle, unless it's ordered, in which case it needs to be inserted where it needs to go. So if it's an ordered array, what's the big O for inserting? O of n. Yep. Unordered?
O1. And then O of n.
And then be O of 1 plus O of n, which makes it O of n. Because once you find the spot, you have to shift everything over, which is an O of n operation. Then you put it in. An ordered linked list.
O of n.
Yeah, still O of n because you have to find it, so you may have to go through the whole list. Unordered?
O of n.
So, yeah, because it's still going to be somewhere. Heap.
Login.
There we go.
You can cut it down.
Yep, because you add it to the bottom, to the end, and then you sift up. And the sifting, adding to the end, O of 1, sifting up, log of it. Binary search tree unbalanced.
Login.
Still log in, yep. Binary search tree balanced.
Login.
Still log in, yep. Now, I skipped something. Unbalanced, average case is log in. What's worst case? O of n, because if it turns into a linked list, then it's, yeah. B tree,
Login.
not quite.
And login.
No, in login.
And
No. Think about it. Think about it. A binary search tree is log base 2 of n. So a B tree is log base.
N.
Yeah, log base. We'll say m, where m is the number how big your B tree is. So B tree is actually, and is that significantly faster or slower than a balanced binary search tree? I just
depends. That depends. Yeah.
well, m is always going to be greater than 2.
Oh, never mind.
Then it's always going to be yeah. Let me make sure I put this over here. Because that makes, yeah, heap.
Dang, I thought I had it.
Okay. All right. Let's do search. And actually, we're missing another big data structure as well. Can I write on this thing?
I don't
know.
Just add it next to arrays.
That's going to be a weird one.
You got a spot there, kind of.
Yeah, that's up to you.
What's the other one we completely missed? That's actually incredibly important.
Stack.
That's abstract. Oh, so important. So important. Ooh.
Not sets, not queues, not
It's
graphs.
not vectors. It's vectors are just an array.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about graphs later, because that's kind of a tricky one. It came after the heap, but before the B tree.
Maps.
Now, that's abstract,
Yeah.
but you're on the right track. What do we implement a map with? Yes, hash table. Were there different types of hash tables?
Yeah.
Which two were there?
Open addressing and the other one, the regular one.
Chaining.
Yeah.
We're going to do chaining up here just for now. Y'all can think about open addressing later. How much is it to append?
Login.
Oh, one.
O of 1. And that's in the average case of, whoa, 1. What's the worst case?
Well then.
Yep. How about to insert? Actually, I take this back. Appending does not make sense in a hash table. Because what are you appending it to? Yeah. But this one's O of 1. There we go. O of n. All right. Now for search.
Oh, it's really bad. Oh, event, right?
In the worst case situation, yes. There's going to be a huge pattern here.
Oh, one.
O1 for the average case.
Yeah.
Because you're going to first jump to the correct bucket, and then and your linked list should be short, so it'd be an O1 operation afterwards. All right, searching an ordered array is ordered array.
No, an ordered array.
Ordered array,
Oh, one. No, it's
not O1.
It's cut in half.
So yeah, you use a
The binary search.
binary search, right? Which, and the big O of that is
Login.
login. How about unordered?
That'd be yellow then.
Yep.
You gotta look for it.
Yep, gotta go through the whole thing. An ordered linked list.
Login.
You can't jump around in a linked list.
Still open.
So it's still O of n. Yep. Unordered.
Oh, then.
All right, we want to find something in a heap.
No. Oh, don't you have to go through everything?
Yes,
Yeah.
because there's no strict ordering. You just guaranteed the top one is the largest or smallest.
Yeah.
So you still have to go through the whole thing. Unbalanced binary search tree. Searching for something. Average case should be,
Login.
and the worst case.
Oh,
Yeah. How about a balanced binary search tree?
Log in.
Log in. And a B tree?
login.
Yeah, log m of n. Did you understand where this m is coming from? M is the how many children a node can have. All right. All right, so we got append, insert, search. We'll do delete. I don't know why I like that so much.
It makes a weird noise.
All right, we're deleting from a hash table. Average case,
O1.
worst case. What do you think the pattern is to a hash table?
Everything is O1 ordered.
On average, and then O of n for that. Yeah, it's that's at least the one part where it's consistent. All right, deleting from an ordered array.
Oh, yeah.
O of n, because log of n to find it, but then you have to shift everything down.
Yeah.
Deleting from an unordered array.
Oh, this.
Yep, still O of n. Deleting from an ordered linked list.
Oh,
Unordered linked list.
okay.
Deleting from a heap. Ooh, this is a tricky one.
Did
Oh,
open.
right? Because you have to go through every single one time.
Yeah, if you want
Yeah.
to, we'll do I'll put the word random over here. Could be anything. How about binary search tree? Yeah, search tree.
Login.
Yep.
Where's this element?
Yep. Balanced.
Login.
And then the
Login.
Login.
log m of it, yeah. Well, that is the big O. It's really, really complicated. Hopefully, y'all remember that.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do delete first / last. And I'm writing it this way because I want you to understand that there's certain situations where it's a lot faster. So delete first or last, basically which one would be faster is the question. So if you have a hash table, does it make a difference what you're deleting? No. So it's O of 1 or O of n. All right, ordered array. You're deleting the last element of an ordered array, the largest.
I feel like that'd be at the end.
Yeah, that would be fast. Let me see if I
If
can
you
make.
remove the first, you have to
Emphasize minus
yeah.
one.
Yeah, let's do a delete largest. How about that? There we go. That'll make it easier. Deleting the largest element of an ordered array. O of, but it's, where is that value? We're assuming it's ordered from least to greatest.
Should be at the end, so it'd be
Oh,
O of 1, right.
I thought we were starting with the greatest.
Largest.
Order would be O of n.
Unordered, right.
Yeah.
An ordered linked list,
At the end, so O of 1.
O of 1, correct. Unordered? Yeah, you gotta find it. Heap.
It'd be at the top, right?
Yes.
Then you have to sift everything out.
Yeah, it'd be O of n.
Not O of n.
Log in.
Yeah, log, because you take the last element, you move it up to the top, decrease the size of the array, and then you sift down.
Okay.
So that swap is O of 1, the sifting down is where you're logging it. Binary search tree, deleting the largest of the unbalanced.
I
Yeah,
guess it's the same as heap, right?
yeah, it's still, well, in the best average case. In the worst case, you're still,
Oh,
yeah. Yep, I'm just trying to reinforce the fact that in an unbalanced one, you can degrade to a linked list. How about a balanced?
Log in.
Yeah. And then a B tree?
Log in with n.
Yep. Okay. All right, so that's where the glare is. All right, what else do we have here? We have appending, inserting, search, delete, largest. Do we need any other operations we should be looking at here?
Remove.
Hmm?
Remove.
Delete. What's going to be the difference between remove and delete?
What's the difference?
Yeah, someone said remove, so I was trying to figure out what you meant by
Specific.
So that'd be the random delete is what I'm saying. You want to remove the specific value. I call it random because you can't predict where it is. While this one's deleting the largest, so it's deleting whatever's at the end. So it's a specific. You always know it's at the end. I think we're going to. Does that make some sense, or am I still confusing you? Give me a slightly puzzled look. So when I say random to delete, I'm just picking some value at random in the array to delete. When I say delete largest, I'm telling you delete the largest element of your data structure. All right, I think it mainly boils down to just that. Okay. All right. Number one most important question, which is the best?
It depends.
Yeah, we're doing great.
We have a bonus question?
I should.
That would be
Bonus
so
question.
awesome is you're like,
Which
which
is
is
the
the
best
best data
one?
structure? And we're like, it depends.
Probably should do that before I put it up. Give you-
Please.
But like,
Please do.
it only counts if people put it depends.
Yeah.
Like, they'll give you some like.
What was the other one? It depends, and what was another one? Can't remember. All right.
Right, we had the Stack Overflow boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I know what it is. Now I remember. This is very important. Memory usage. Oh, this one's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
All right. Woo. This is hard. We're not doing the hash table. Array.
Array is going to be quite a bit.
And now I'm not going to use big O here because they're all technically O of n. But when it comes to memory, you need to be a little more specific. So what is it for an array? Well, if you have n elements and the array fits perfectly, it is just n, right?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to do memory usage, and we're going to say P equals the size of a pointer. You're not using a pointer in an array, I'm just putting that there for now. So at best case, it's going to be n. At worst case, it's, there's got to be a better way to write this. So n, wow, to, we say we double the array, so it could be 2 times n, right? Okay, unordered array, it's the same thing. All right, ordered linked list. Well, the nice thing about the linked list is you are going to hold exactly n elements, but what else is stored in addition to that? A pointer. How many pointers are stored? Well, it depends if you're having a singly linked list or doubly linked list. So it's going to be either n plus p or n plus 2 times p for a doubly linked list. All right? Everyone following me right here? Great. Ordered linked list?
Same thing.
Same thing. Heap.
Same as the array.
Yep, same as the array, because that's what it is. Binary search tree. Well, you're only holding the exact number of elements, right? So it's going to be n plus, how many pointers are stored per element? 2. 2 times p. And hopefully you've arranged it so those pointers are actually pointing to other values, but it's always going to be pretty much n plus 2 times p. How about binary search tree, or the balanced version? It's still, it's same thing, yeah. You're just balancing it better. B tree.
M?
Well, okay, whoa. All right, this one's a little confusing, so I'm going to give an estimate. I'm not going to actually write it down exactly correct, but let's say, what do we have? So each level, on average, is going to hold how many values?
So,
If you recall correctly, they're going to hold m over 2. So,
yeah.
and then there's n values there. So each level is going to be m times n over 2. M times n. Well, it's not so much n. I'm sorry. It's m over 2. I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'm not doing this analysis correctly. On your binary tree, can we see over here? We can see over here. So you might have your root.
Well,
What?
you're a little bit off the screen. There you go.
Yeah, you'll have m elements, and you might have 14 here, and it points to something over here, which again, maybe you might have a couple of elements here pointing ... So each of these nodes actually contains m elements, so it's actually m. So there's m elements, and how often are they filled? How much of them are actually filled with our values is the question. On average, they're half full, so m divided by 2. All right. But the question is, how many of these m's are there?
There's an n number.
Well, n is the number of elements. Okay? And if each of these is about half filled, like if they were fully filled, it would be n divided by m. But since they're half filled, it's 2n divided by m, right? So for just your array, you're doing let's see. Each one, brain. How many of these are filled? Normally it would be m, they're fully filled, it'd be n divided by m, but they're half filled, so it's 2 times that. But since each one of these holds m, you need to multiply this by m, which gets you 2 times n is what I'm trying to get to. So
Okay.
I know that's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So we have n elements, right? If they were perfectly filled up, then how many of these boxes would there be? There'd be n divided by m boxes, right? Which would be this. But they're half filled, so you actually need to multiply that by 2. And that'd be the number of boxes that are currently being filled up. How much space is taken by each of these boxes? Well, m. So it'll be m times 2 times n divided by m, which you can just cancel the m's out and get 2 times n.
Okay.
All right, so that's the amount of array space that's being taken up. How many pointers are being used? Well, first off, we need to know how many boxes are in use. And we know that many boxes are in use. How many pointers are in each one?
2.
Well, there's one here, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there.
Oh,
So it's actually
and
m plus 1.
plus 1.
And it's m plus 1, and that's how many pointers there are. So then you got to multiply this by p. Wow, that's confusing. I'm going to eliminate that plus 1 just to make our lives handy, because otherwise this is going to be really, really annoying. It's going to be really, really annoying. And I'm just going to say plus p times 2 times n. So which one of these takes up the most memory? The B tree is going to take the most memory. Okay. All right. Well, that was confusing. That's why I didn't have you all implement it. Hash table. How much memory does a hash table of chaining take up?
Vector and a list.
Right. So the vector is going to be right the array. So you get 2 times n plus your list, which is
Unordered.
unordered, correct?
So n plus p or n plus 2p? I mean n plus p.
Plus p, right. Yeah, so that's, yep. Now, it's actually going to also be plus n times p. And the reason for that, I know it's kind of confusing. Let's just think of it as this many elements. If you're storing 1, it's actually a vector of p's. So that's, oh, whoops. Oh, man. So confusing. P n to n plus, because each of these that's being stored is actually a pointer. It's not actually an element. So you're storing a pointer. But once you get down to here, you're storing the actual element, which is n, and you're only storing the actual element. You're not storing more than the element, but you're storing the element plus another pointer because it's got to point somewhere else. N plus p. So, yep. All right. So it takes up a little more memory, but that's all right. Okay. We're not going to do graphs yet. So what can you tell me about the balanced binary search tree versus everything else?
It's consistent.
It's very consistent, memory-wise.
It's low memory.
It's a little low on the memory, not as good as possibly an array or a list, but a linked list, but it's still pretty good,
It's pretty fast.
relatively. It's consistently, are there faster data structures though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. I'm going to ask you a very open-ended question on your final. What data structure would you use in this situation? You need to think of this when you answer the question.
When in doubt, use a hash table.
Yeah.
But when is a hash table a bad choice?
When you have too many elements.
When you have too many elements, or
If you just have a linked list.
so the time a hash table is bad is when you need a guaranteed response time. On average, you're O of 1, which is amazing. But let's say this is keeping someone's heart alive. It may run into a situation where it's doing a lot of O of n operations and that person dies. In which case you need to use something else, which is going to be a binary search tree or a, what's the last one?
B-tree.
B tree, which is faster if you have, but what's the downfall of a B tree over a binary search tree?
Memory.
Memory, right. Binary search tree is definitely faster, but it consumes way more memory. And is a lot more complicated. Okay. Any other questions? Make sure you do study some graphs. I didn't put it up here because it's not going to.
I said graphums.
Graphums.
Graphic.
I don't know if it makes too much sense on this comparison. Graphs is a kind of a different realm, but very important realm, and you'll get a lot more of that in algorithms, or if you take my competitive programming class as well. You'll get a ton of that there. All right, any other questions? I think this is always the best summary of the course, in my opinion. Yep. All right, guys. Well, there's nothing else. I will open up the final shortly, and then y'all can start on it just when you need to. Make sure you get it done by the end of this Tuesday, and then hopefully I'll see all of y'all in architecture next semester. Right, Jonah? Right.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I'll be there with